I found out my coworkers had a group chat about me, but it wasn't the insults that broke me. It was who had been feeding them the screenshots. I started a new job about 8 months ago. Nothing glamorous, just a quiet office, spreadsheets, and headphones. I'm the kind of person who keeps work and personal life separate. I don't gossip, I don't overshare, except with one person. She trained me on my first day. We started eating lunch together, texting outside of work, and eventually became close friends. She was the one person I trusted enough to tell about my anxiety, my failed relationship, and how embarrassed I was about still living with my parents while saving for my own place. She always smiled and said, "Don't worry, everyone's figuring life out." A few weeks ago, planned a Friday happy hour. I almost skipped it, but Emma insisted. "You need to get out more." She laughed. Everything felt normal until people started making oddly specific jokes. Someone asked if I'd remembered to triple check my alarm. Another laughed and asked whether I still rehearse phone calls before making them. Someone else smiled and said, "Don't worry, we won't judge your grocery budget." Everyone laughed. I forced a smile. None of those things were public. I'd only told Emma. I spent the rest of the night wondering if I accidentally mentioned them before. The next Monday, I stayed late to finish a report. As I walked past the break room, I heard my name. One voice said, "She actually believes nobody knows." Another replied, "Emma sends the funniest screenshots." I stopped, completely still. Then I heard my own text messages being read out loud, private conversations, messages where I admitted I felt lonely, messages where I worried I wasn't good enough. Every awkward confession turned into entertainment. Someone laughed and said, "She writes novels every time she's stressed." Another answered, "The group chat goes crazy whenever Emma posts a new one." My stomach dropped. The jokes at happy hour, the comments, the strange smiles. They weren't random. They already knew me. Not because they cared, because they'd been reading my private messages for months. I quietly walked away. The next day, Emma asked why I'd been so quiet. I looked at her and simply said, "You didn't lose my trust yesterday. You spent months giving it away." I never argued, never yelled. I just blocked her everywhere and started over. Losing a friend hurts, but keeping someone who treats your life like content hurts even more. Question for you. If you discovered your closest friend had been sharing your private messages for laughs, would you confront them or walk away without saying another word?